You know, there's nothing like being cozied up with a friend and having existential conversations.
How you feel, Kat?
I feel so cozy.
Okay, good. Hello, and welcome to Grave Conversations, the only show where your favorite celebrities get to lie down. I'm your host, David Dastmalchian. Our guest today is someone that we hope sticks around for a very long time. She's a very good friend of mine. She's an incredibly talented actor and singer who is known for standout roles in genre favorites like Shadowhunters, The Stand, and Walker Independence. Please welcome the amazing Kat McNamara.
That is so sweet. Thank you for saying all that.
It's easy. It all comes naturally. You're an incredible person. I'm so glad that you're getting in the casket with me today. How does it feel?
It's an honor, probably the coziest honor I've ever had. I will also say I apologize for sounding like Death Warmed Over, but at least it's slightly on theme.
Very much
Maybe?
on theme, yeah. How'd you lose your voice, Kat?
Oh, just a myriad of things, Big Slick included.
Big Slick.
So it was all worth it.
That's a charity event that we've been doing together for a number of years now. We're both Midwest kids, right?
Oh yeah.
Kansas City.
KC, baby.
And we go back to help support Children's Mercy Hospital. Well, thank you for being here.
My absolute pleasure.
It's first time in a casket?
Not my first time in a casket, actually. Season 1 of Shadowhunters, I had to be in a casket and then jump out of it and, you know, leap into action as I often do on that show. And I didn't think about it. The next day, we had to fly to New York to go to New York Comic Con. I had been jumping out of a casket for several hours and had welts on the back of my legs from pushing off the casket edge. And you know, the cute little short dress I was wearing for Comic-Con really showed off those welts. So that is my past casket experience.
Well, hopefully this time no welts.
No.
Are you ready to get into some big, meaty questions about life and the hereafter?
Oh boy, here I am so ready.
Okay. Well, the first segment is called Questions You Need to Answer Before You Die. Or as they call it in the biz, they call it the quintabid.
I love a quintabid.
Have you ever silently judged someone for using too many napkins? You can totally be honest. This is a safe space.
I don't think I've silently judged someone because I'm usually that person. I tend to fall into the category of mom friend. And I always grab extra napkins because I know my friends are going to need them.
I love that. You're very thoughtful, and yet you've been silently judged being so thoughtful.
I'm sure I have been, but I also judge away. You know, when you need a napkin, I'll be there for you.
Do you have a favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
When I was a kid, I was obsessed with anything cookie dough flavored. And they make a killer cookie dough Pop-Tart.
I love so many different Pop-Tart flavors. Brown sugar cinnamon?
Yes. Okay, but here's the thing. Next question for you. Have you had the brown sugar cinnamon ice cream, Pop-Tart ice cream?
No.
Okay, that is your next adventure.
I'm still all about Cookie Monster ice cream, so I need to try something new. Some brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart flavored ice cream.
My family stockpiles it because you can never find it anywhere, and it's so good.
This is a deeply personal question for me. What's your relationship to scented candles?
Oh, I love a scented candle.
Thank you.
I am such a, like, I have to force myself to stop buying candles because I will.
Why?
Well, because I've run out of space.
Don't stop.
My candle cabinet is
room.
full. What am I going to do?
There's room for more. Bedside table, the library, the bookshelves, the dresser.
So right. I can use
bathroom.
them as bookends.
Bathrooms are such great places for candles. Have you ever been in a social situation where people are saying goodbye and you don't know if you're supposed to hug or handshake?
Yeah, I have been. I'm awkward in the best of times, and I will just go in for the hug.
That's nice.
You know, I'll just dive right in there, and then if we all feel uncomfortable, at least we can support each other in this nice awkward hug through our awkwardness.
What's your opinion on dogs with Instagram accounts?
I wouldn't say that I would make one for my dog, but I certainly appreciate my dog nieces and nephews that have them because then I get to stay up to date on all of their goings on, and that corgi in the backpack is sure cute.
What a diplomatic answer to that question, Kat. I really appreciate that. What's your policy around letting someone borrow your cell phone charger?
Oh, I'll always let them, but then I'll hound them before I leave until they give it back.
I feel like there's like that place when you put your clothes through the wash and dryer and where like one sock vanishes.
Yeah.
That's me with cell phone chargers.
No.
Yeah, I'm just like, Ooh, did I put? I've probably, in the time that cell phones have been a thing and cell phone chargers have been a thing, maybe bought something like 17,436 of them.
Oh,
And
wow.
I currently have half of one right now in my backpack.
Okay. At least you have half,
Like I have the
right?
cord, no cube, you know?
Well, I've got the cube in my bag, so we're good to go.
This is a great question for you because I feel like you're always ready for something like this. And by the way, so much admiration for you because as an actor, you are so willing to jump in and you're so fit. You do your own stunts. You're really a physical performer. If a zombie apocalypse broke out while you were in a 24-hour fitness, what would be your weapons of choice?
Ooh, that's a really, really good question because normally I would say, give me an ATV, a couple of hand axes, and all the knives you could find. But I don't think any of that's in a 24-hour fitness.
Depends on which city you're in, but I
That
don't
is
think
true.
they're common. Yeah.
My gut instinct is like the larger dumbbells, but like the 10-pound one, because then I could maybe use it like a bow staff and kind of like hook zombies in with it, and then maybe crush a skull a little bit.
I like that.
Maybe a couple kettlebells that I could throw.
Kettlebells for sure.
Yeah, I think I would have to stick with a multitude of small things that I could launch because I don't want to get close to zombies. You know what I mean?
No, you can't get close. You get one nibble and that's it.
Maybe I could cut some cables that I could like make a
Like a mace?
yeah.
Yeah. Like a
dumbbell mace.
A MacGyvered mace.
Yeah.
This is the longest question I think I've ever asked on Grave Conversations,
Ooh,
but I'm
sock
gonna
it to me,
get it.
baby.
I'm gonna get it to you because I think this says a lot about you.
Okay.
What's your impression of someone trying to sound confident while ordering spaghetti, but they clearly have never heard of spaghetti before?
Yes, Mr. Waiter, sir. I would like to order the spaghetti.
The spaghetti, yes, of course. It's one of the chef's favorites. Do you have a preference? Do you want would you freshly ground Parmesan on top?
Yes.
Why don't I trust this woman? What inspired you, Kat McNamara, to become an actor?
Interestingly, it all happened by accident. I was the kid who would try anything, and I was a dancer as well as a hobby. Bumped into a family friend who needed a dancer in a community theater show, and I said, sure, why not? Walked on stage on opening night, and I had one of those rare moments of clarity that we have in this life that are gifted to us sometimes, that I knew I was put on this earth to tell stories. And I was lucky enough to be in a place like Kansas City that has an incredible regional theater community into which I was very quickly embraced and was taught, the beautiful work ethic that is Kansas City artists. And I sort of never looked back from there.
I love that. I love that. I spent years in summers on the stages at Shawnee Mission Theater in the Park. You're preparing to go on set, on stage. How do you release the nervous energy before shooting?
I think for some characters, especially the more physical ones, it's a walk or it's warming up physically if I'm fighting for that day. Mm-hmm. But more often than not, it's a playlist. I make a playlist for every character.
I love it. I love character playlists.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's my favorite thing in the world.
Do you put them out to the public?
I did for Shadowhunters.
Cool.
Because I made a new one for every season, and I started getting asked a lot of questions about it. And I sort of just went,
such a great idea.
yeah, well, here it is then.
You've been to a lot of fictional funerals on screen, some very important fictional funerals, and you mourn so beautifully. As an actor, what is your approach to mourning?
It really depends on the character's journey and where they're at. And for me, I've had characters in situations where they're very comfortable, and this is their, like for example, on Shadowhunters, it's their home that they're in when they're mourning, so they have more of an ability to do so more freely. But then, for example, on Walker Independence, I was in a town full of people that may or may not have been a part of killing my husband, so I couldn't necessarily as freely do so, given the fact that I was also trying to hide my identity at the moment. Complicated in the West. But I think it also comes down to a playlist for me on the day, and it comes down to finding that journey and kind of charting it over the course of the season or the film and kind of making sure that it always exists, because grief never really goes away. The love that you had and the care that you had for that person kind of repurposed into something else that never really leaves you, which is, I think, a beautiful thing as well as a sad thing.
Yeah.
But making sure that's present in the character as it moves forward.
Last question for this section, and it's a doozy. When you hear a child say, "Watch this," how emotionally prepared are you for what's next?
Never emotionally prepared.
Okay.
Always excited.
Fair. I love it.
And I travel with Band-Aids, so I think we'll be good. Well, I already have like plastic knives and shit all over the place, so I might as well have a coffin too.
Thank you so much. Now that we've gotten the really important stuff out of the way, let's talk about death and
Amazing.
dying. On Grave Conversations, we always want to, make our guests comfortable and hopefully be able to feel like they're in a safe space where we can talk about death and dying, because we want to normalize conversations about death and dying. It's something that's really important to me. Are you ready to talk about end-of-life celebrations and funeral planning and death and dying?
I am.
Wonderful. It's time to enter into the segment which we call Death Wish. You get to choose. It's up to you.
Okay.
How would you like to die?
I think I would like to die in a very peaceful way, preferably near the people I love, and in conversations that are full of laughter and memories, and hopefully a kind of fond closure.
That sounds really nice. How often do you think about death or dying?
Given the sort of projects that I've been a part of, quite a lot.
I get it.
And the amount that I play D&D and have to face the death of my own characters or other characters often, quite a lot.
You're a big game player. I know you love playing games like Mafia, Werewolf, D&D. It's awesome. I love imagination games. I think it's such an awesome way to spend time with people you love. Another way to spend time with people you love is planning your funeral. Mm-hmm. Have you ever done any funeral planning for yourself?
I have thought about it, mostly having been in caskets on set or, in conversation with people that were like, yeah, just climb down in that grave and we're gonna throw some dirt on you for a little bit. That does some things to a person. When you literally are facing that scenario. I do. I think I'd like to be a tree.
That's really lovely. Somebody said that earlier.
I just think trees are nice. And I always like sitting under a tree, and I'd like to be that for someone else.
Do you know what kind of tree?
No, I don't, but something big and leafy.
So that, I guess, answers the question. I would say, do you know if you want to be buried or cremated? I guess buried like a seed?
Yeah. I don't know what the process is of turning one's remains into a tree, but whatever that entails.
Get in a casket and just fill it with seeds, I guess.
That's the old-fashioned way, right?
What sound would you like your tombstone to make if someone touched it? Boop.
I think like a little boop or like a little giggle.
Little boop and giggle.
Like a naughty little giggle.
I like that.
I think would be really fun.
You don't seem to have any difficulty talking about it. Do you find it difficult to have conversations about death and dying with family?
My whole family's in science and medicine. So I think we're all fairly clinical and have extremely dark senses of humor. So it comes very naturally to all of us.
Gotta have a sense of humor about it.
I think so.
Why do you think it is so difficult for most people to have conversations about death?
I mean, death is scary, right? I think I deal with most scary things in my life through humor, hence talking about, being a tree. I think the unknown can be one of the most terrifying things we ever have to face.
Yeah.
And death is probably the most unknown thing that we know of.
And yet it's like the one thing that we all are going to experience. There's no one that's not going to have that experience at some point. And so I'm really grateful that you're willing to come and talk about it, because I think just getting people to think about it and talk about it in a way that maybe will help alleviate some of the anxiety and stress around it, or at least acknowledge communally that this is something that can be hard for us to process. And so why not do it together, right?
I agree. I think all of us processing things as a communal human experience can solve a lot of problems.
Social media, love it. We all hate it. It's a part of our lives no matter where we go. If the dead could post on social media, what would your first post say?
In the most Elaine Stritch way I possibly could, I'm still here.
And speaking of celebrities, if you could haunt a celebrity, who would it be?
Oh, Probably you.
Oh, I love it.
Because I think you'd be the most receptive to it and we'd have the most fun.
I would absolutely be receptive to it. I am here and waiting. I want ghosts. I love ghosts.
Me too.
Removing all the connotations of like good and evil and all that stuff, just in terms of aesthetic.
Yes.
Would you rather be an angel or a demon?
Well, I will say this. If there's anything I learned on Shadowhunters, angels aren't always good and demons aren't always bad. They're usually all some shade of morally gray. But demons have more fun. So I might just have to say a demon.
Oh yeah, 100%. The aesthetic is just a little better.
Right? Better shoes for sure.
If you could design your own version of heaven, what would it look like?
I think my favorite version of heaven would be, honestly, a giant game night with all the people I love.
I love that.
I mean, none of us really know what comes next and what happens after we leave this experience. But I've lost a lot of people in my life over the years and lost a lot of people that were very influential to me at a very young age. And I'd like to think that there's a world in which I would get to thank them for the contribution that they made to my life and have a little chat about how I had no idea how significant the things they were teaching me were at the time, and just to see them again.
Kat, thank you for opening up to us today. It means a lot. I know so many people watching are going to really appreciate how much you're willing to share with us. Let's talk about what's happening with you in your life outside of the casket. This is a little segment that we like to call Living for This. I really want a song there. What are you working on personally or professionally or otherwise, if there is an otherwise, that really makes you feel alive these days?
I feel like the way the industry is at the moment, we all have to have so many irons in the fire just to function and feel busy, that it's really nice to have the freedom and the space to do that. I did a film last year that I recently saw, which hopefully will be coming out at some point, called The Queen's Jewels, which it's a very fun, like, National Treasure meets Outer Banks action-adventure film in the Dominican Republic. So much fun. Got scuba certified for that because I was, at least in my head, facing death in a way because I had a lot of underwater stuff to do, which is not necessarily my comfort zone. So that was a fun challenge to face. Bunch of films in the can that I hope are coming out soon. I've got a film I'm bringing into production with my producing partner called Firework, which a couple of my Shadowhunters buddies were putting that together, which should be great. More on that soon. And I'm building a lot of exciting D&D characters lately, which makes me very happy.
I've got an 11-year-old who is got a weekly campaign now that he participates in, and it's just filling my heart with so much D&D joy.
What class?
You know, I'm not playing with him, so I need to catch up on his character. I want to see, I know that he told me he was, because I've played with, as far as race goes, he was interested in playing Dragonborn, which I like. Some people are not into the
so
Dragonborn.
cool.
But I was like, go for it, man, and see what who you roll and what you roll, and see what kind of fire weapon you get or breath weapon you get.
Oh my God, that's
so
amazing.
I've got to play with him now, though. But I don't want to crowd his
Yeah.
space. I just DJ'd his first dance at school, and I was really afraid of embarrassing him. But I did okay there, so maybe I can crash the D&D game at some point.
I'm sure you did great. You're like the coolest of cool.
Go on.
That's my opinion, but I have a very weird opinion. Very similar to other conversations I've had with David. Equally as existential and deep and thoughtful, but also silly and fun.
Thank you so much for being on Grave Conversations. Before we bury this interview, though,
Yes.
I have one final thing that I would like to ask you to do. As you know, if you've watched the show, we ask all of our guests of this. We would be so honored if you would give your own eulogy. It's spelled out Y-O-U, logy, you get it. When I say die, you will have 60 seconds to give yourself your own eulogy. Okay, great. 3, 2, 1, die.
I will say, if anything in this interview, this was the thing I was nervous for.
You got this.
She did the things in life that she loved and loved the things that she did. She was very thoughtful and protective of the people around her. She was kind to everyone she met, and she loved to tell a good story, and was happiest when surrounded by the people she loved, usually laughing and playing some silly game. And hopefully left this world with a few good stories and the world a little bit better than she arrived in it.
You certainly did. You've entertained and made so many people so happy, and your career is just starting. I'm so excited to see all the things that you do. That's our time.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I had a blast.
I have a dentist appointment, so bye.
Bye. Must be 2:30 then if he has a dentist appointment. This is really cozy. I'm just gonna hope David doesn't mind.